I don't even know where to start this video. But I thought maybe if I showed you my son's baby picture, you would look at this face and you would understand what's going on. I didn't know at the time when he was born that because he's a handsome baby, he was worth a lot more to some really nefarious people than he was to me. And he's everything to me. Because was a handsome baby, he would have been more had he been stolen, which was a very good possibility, and it could have happened. You think your babies are safe, and they are not. I remember growing up, eating cereal on a Saturday morning, and the milk carton used to have pictures of missing kids. And that was back, I'd say in the middle 70s, late 70s, at a time when Jimmy Carter was either in office or at just exiting. And at that point in time, we were worried about where these people were going. And then all of a sudden, we noticed we weren't getting milk in cartons anymore. They were coming in plastic jugs where no pictures could be plastered. I don't think that was for convenience sake. I think what started out as good intentions was stopped by our government for a reason. They say there are 850,000 children every year taken from their parents, stolen off the street, funneled through DCFS, child services. And I'm sure some are just being bred into the system. And it was our government. It was our government doing this. They took these kids, and it would have been bad enough if they were just molesting them. But they were torturing them for shits and grins. It's a drug to these people, what they use these children for. It would be along those same lines of any person going out on a Friday or Saturday night and they have a few drinks and get their bag of cocaine. This goes a little further. They are sacrificing these kids. They torture them first to get their adrenaline pumped to their body. So these little kids, there's more than one use that they get. They take this adrenal gland. Once they are pumped full of adrenaline, and these monsters cook and serve it to each other like it's some kind of sauce. Our babies are then more than likely dismembered, and their organs are sold to the highest bidder. If I'd have known this, I'd have had my baby at home. Because the system that we grew up and we trusted, somewhere it turned on us. And for those of you who think that this is not happening, it is. And burying your head in the sand and chucking it off as a conspiracy theory makes you responsible for each and every child that goes missing after this point. If you have children, if you love children, and if you believe in a future for them, you need to wake the fuck up. These kids are so valuable on the black market, it's not even funny. I am so angry that the country that I grew up in and I love and I would die for has been the biggest monster on this planet. We have incited wars, and I'm sure it was all under the guise of being able to steal these people's babies and government overthrow. But it wasn't just to go in and throw their government over and manipulate citizens that didn't know any better. It was easy access to children. They have been transported from one end of this country to the other. And it was done all right in front of us. And we let it happen. We let it happen. If you really care about what's going on, and you really want to see what your government's been doing, then you need to get involved. You need to open your eyes. You need to look at your neighbors. You need to look at the people that run in your district. You need to look at who walks in and out of the White House. And you need to stand up and you need to do something. There's one man that's fighting to take care of this. And he cannot do it all. We have so many issues in this country. But I think this is the number one issue at hand. We need to wake up. And we need to come together. And we need to end this. We either need to step up and help our president, or we need to make it known that as United States citizens, we're not going to let this happen anymore. This child that you see the picture of, this child saved my life. I loved him enough to change my ways, to grow up, to give him a future, and to know that there are other parents out there that have the same intentions, that they never got to do that because their child was ripped away under false pretenses. And only they know what that pain is like. You get to put your kids to bed. Understand that you're very, very lucky. I'm very lucky. But there are people out there that don't know that since Johnny went missing 2 years ago, he is more than likely part of a prostitute system. He's probably been passed around some of the biggest hands out of Washington, D.C. Or if Johnny did not participate willingly and he fought back, he more than likely he is dead and his organs have been sold all over this place, out of this country, to other people. Or he was probably in a snuff film. But I give them credit. They wait 20, 30 years with hope that their child's going to come home. And it very rarely happens. They came out with the Amber Alerts, and we thought, oh, wow, they're really doing something to help. And the Amber Alerts are not what you think. It is the government's way of throwing a rock, one way to get you to look, while the Amber Alert child mention is being shuffled out a back door, being sold to somebody, somewhere. Can you imagine what they go through? It's one thing to hurt someone and then for them to die quickly, but to be a child who knows nothing of anything about the world and to be beaten and raped, not knowing what's happening to them. These people, I could literally wrap my hands around their neck and kill each and every one of them. These children are God's gift. And they are borrowed to us. They are not promised for a lifetime. And if you think because your son's in bed or your daughter's in bed tucked in and they're safe, they're not. Because one day they could actually come home from school. Is that the day then that you'll get involved? Or that you'll wake up? Or are you going to do it now before that happens? I don't know what to say to anyone around me. Because people seem to be living in this fairy tale. And I don't want to crush it for them. But they also need to see and realize that this is not a fairy tale, it's a nightmare. I hope I can reach one person. Just one person. And then if I reached you, then maybe you could reach two people. And you remember the old shampoo commercial? And she told two friends and so on and so on. Well, it's time for each one of us to pick two friends and open our mouth and start saying something. This cannot go on anymore. Forget trying to give them a better world. They don't have a future, period. So please, stand up, open your mouth. When you see wrong, call it out. When you hear a lie, face it head on. And when you see something shady, speak up. Because if we don't, and we keep minding our own business, this business will be at our front door before you know it. And then at that point, it's too late. Thank you.